Well, greetings, one and all. Welcome once again to Tom's Hit Parade Live. Let me know if the light's too bright. I did get a couple of nice new lights to do videos. So my next step is to bring up myself into the OBS Studio software. So baby steps. So perhaps next week, definitely my goal is to do it at the very latest by the time of list season, when list season rolls around in the end of December. So with luck, I'll have all the bells and whistles and the fun stuff done that way with the OBS software. But for now, I've got new lights. Hope you like them. But yes, welcome, as I said, once again to Tom's Hit Parade Live. And hope I didn't get you too off guard deciding to do this Thursday night instead of Friday night. It was kind of a last minute decision, obviously. It just, for my schedule, it works better for me to do it tonight. I actually had today off, thanks to Veterans Day. By the way, I hope you guys had a good Veterans Day for those of you who observe it. I believe that's just a U.S. holiday. But if any of you happen to be watching who are veterans, I do appreciate your service to this country, and even those of you in other countries, service to your country's government in your armed forces. Thank you very much, even if it's not directly benefited the U.S. Uh, People who serve their country in the armed forces have more guts than I ever would. So that's all I have to say about it. So I cannot disparage our veterans at all. But anyway, and yes, I did not have to work today thanks to Veterans Day, so I have more energy than I probably would. Hey, Keegan, than I probably would tomorrow night after work. And also, we're going to be leaving for a drive early Saturday morning, so I didn't want to have this on my mind Friday night just before I, go to bed. Well, not just before I go to bed, but anyway. Suffice to say, it worked better for me tonight, and I mean, it doesn't matter to you guys in the long run because you'll watch it on the replay if you don't watch it live. So what the heck, right? Everybody wins. Anyway, tonight, as you saw in the subject line, excuse the fuzz on my shoulder, is Bargain Bag for the month of November. This is the penultimate episode, look up the word, of Bargain Bag, at least the Skips era of Bargain Bag. I usually open 2 mystery CD grab bags per month, but tonight I will be opening the last 4, and which means that in the December bargain bag, which will be the big wrap up, I will have 28 CDs to talk about in the breakdown. I will not have a spotlight CD next month, but I will beef up the bargain bag finale for season, was it 3, by doing my top 10 favorite bargain bag CD finds of the year. So it's going to be part of list season, basically. And of course, between opening the bargain bags after the first 2 and before the last 2, I will talk about a spotlight CD as I usually do. But before any of that, let's go ahead and get to the breakdown of last month's pair of bargain bag contents in rough order from cast-offs to keepers. Let's go ahead and give them a try. Give them a rundown here. First one I did not listen to because I have it in my own collection already. Indigo Girls with their album Nomads, Indians, Saints. If you guys are not familiar with Indigo Girls, that's something I'm going to have to work with more light, is more glare. That's an upside and downside. Indigo Girls, for those of you who are not familiar with them, folk pop rock stuff. Very nice. I mean, their voices blended wonderfully together. And I have a story that it's not quite worthy of a album diaries thing, because it's not a deeply personal story, but I do have memories of the Indigo Girls from my youth. Some of my favorite songs on here: Hammer and a Nail, that's really good. That's the opening track. 1, 2, 3 is another very good song, and Watershed, that's another standout track on this album. So good stuff. I'm not keeping it because I already have a copy, as I said. So, but still very, very good album. If I didn't have it, it would have been a keeper. Next up, we have an artist named Ronnie Freeman, and this is Christian pop rock. Not much more to say about that. And even in terms of Christian music, it's very, very white bread, straightforward, middle of the road pop rock stuff. He's got a pleasant enough voice, just The lyrical content, as I said before, is lost on me. Next up, we have The Art of the Classical Piano. Pretty self-explanatory. Piano renditions of classical stuff. Not bad, you know. As I said before, classical compilations are classical compilations, you know. I'll set this on my keyboard platform instead of on my lap, because if in my lap I have to keep my legs closed, and it's more strain on my leg muscles than I prefer to have. Anyway, next up is a CD that did not have an insert. As you'll recall in my bargain bag openings, the insert actually belonged in another CD, so it was a misplaced insert. Anyway, this is called Summer Fun. It's a compilation of classic summer songs, summer themed songs. Heatwave by Martha and the Vandellas, one of my favorite Motown songs. We'll Sing in the Sunshine by Gail Garnett. In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry. It's another one of my favorites, I gotta say. And then we have Summertime by Billy Stewart. Summertime Blues by Eddie Cochran. It's a very good one. And Summer in the City by Love and Spoonful. And this was a compilation produced by the late, great Borders Books and Music. I still miss that store. It closed back in 2011, I think it was. Then we have the first disc, I believe it was, to a 2-disc compilation that was in the other disc was about 3 or 4 months ago. If I'd known this CD was coming, I might have kept that other disc, but I didn't. So this one's going. It's not super wonderful stuff anyway. 50 sweet bands, 50 sweet songs, stuff from mainly the 40s and going into the 50s, I think too. But not really not the really popular stuff. It's a bit more of the second tier favorites, I guess you'd say. Not bad stuff. It's just it's not begging me to keep it. And then we have Mike Johnson with the album Where Am I? This is a jazz pop quartet kind of thing, basically, and he's got a decent voice, but you know, just nothing on the album really grabbed me, you know. And then we have The Kissers with the album Fire in the Belly. This is Celtic rock, I found out by listening to it. And you know, Celtic rock is one of those things that when music sounds a little too ethnic and it's not an ethnicity or a lineage that I belong to, it's a little harder for me to get into. So yeah. Some of you out there might like Celtic rock. Some of you guys might be Irish. I unfortunately am not. So. And then we have The Walkabouts with the album, or it's actually a 5-track EP, Slow Days with Nina. And I found out that the Nina in question is Nina Simone. This is indie folk, and it is a tribute EP to the great Nina Simone, a fantastic jazz and blues and R&B singer of the past, the 40s and 50s. She was her heyday. Good stuff. Not great. I'm not going to keep it, but it's interesting to hear Nina Simone songs done in a different style. So not bad at all. And we're getting close to my keepers. I actually have 4 keepers here today. The next one we have is Pepe Ginsburg with the album Red. That's one thing I like about Digipacks is no plastic to produce glare for the camera. Indie pop rock sort of stuff. But the one thing I did not like about this was that the singing was very flat, and I assume it was done on purpose. If it was that flat and it was not on purpose, I don't see how they would get a recording contract. So, and yeah, just kind of that off-key or flat singing is just not my thing. It might be that thing for some people, but the stuff I listen to has got to be in tune. Sorry. Nitpick maybe, but. Then we have a name that I was kind of familiar with, Stacey Orico, or it might be Orico. I'm not sure how the exact pronunciation of her last name is. Pop rock, basically. And I was somewhat familiar with the song There's Gotta Be More to Life. That was her big hit single. And that was good. Unfortunately, there was just not quite enough besides that to really get me to keep the CD. She's got a pleasant enough voice and they're good enough arrangements. Good stuff. Just didn't quite float my boat, gotta say. And now we are on to the 4 keepers. Any American Idol fans out there might recognize the name Melinda Doolittle. This is her album, fourth or fifth season, was she? A finalist. I think she was in the top 10. That was not a season that I watched, unfortunately. Excuse me. But just great R&B with a bit of soul in it. I really like this stuff. So I'm keeping this. I have a modest to medium collection of American Idol alumni. So I am happy to add this one to my collection. So good stuff. And it's what artists like that kind of make me wonder, should I be diving deeper into American Idol alumni? And this next one is, there were a couple here that I was not expecting much out of. This next one is The Rake's Progress, I believe, is the name of the artist, and Altitude is the name of the album. Interesting stuff. It started out as very punkish, kind of emo punk kind of stuff. So it was kind of boring to me at first, but that as the album went on, it branched out into other genres, country, folk, and other things like that. So this was ended up being a very interesting album. I like. Season 6. Thank you, Garrett. That was Melinda Doolittle was from season 6. Just. But yeah, so yeah, I like artists and albums that don't stay confined to one genre, as you guys probably know from my history of my videos. Interesting song titles on here, though. Howard is a Drag. And track 4 is called I'll Talk My Way Out of This One. And we have track 6 is 2 Eggs Any Style. And we have track 9, Heart Full of Stuff. I have a heart full of stuff, and I'm sure most everybody does. But yeah, good stuff, I gotta say. As you can tell from recent videos, I have a bit of a heart full of stuff for whimsical song titles. This next one here is from Tim Booth, and this was a guy I had not heard of, but it turns out he was the frontman of the alt-rock band James, which was popular in the early 90s, first half of the 90s, maybe the very end of the 80s. Their big album was Laid, and I think the title track was their biggest hit single. But yeah, this was pretty good stuff. It's got parts Britpop, parts blues rock, so kind of all around in those genres. There were a couple of songs in here whose vibe, not necessarily the melody or the beat or anything, but the vibe kind of reminded me of the Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil, that kind of stuff. So, and his voice, Tim's voice kind of reminds me of Bono from U2. So, and I don't know if, I haven't listened to James. In fact, I think that big hit single of theirs is probably the only James song I've ever listened to. So I would have to listen to more of their stuff to find out if his vocal similarity to Bono runs through that stuff too. So, but yeah, the diversity of this album was what caught my ear. So pretty good stuff. And then the final album, I guess, maybe the de facto winner, chicken dinner of this bunch is an artist named Abena. And she is kind of what I expected she would be when I, looked at the album cover. She is an African Afrobeat, jazz, soul, R&B singer, Sade, Angelique Kidjo. You think things like that, and it's when I listen to artists like this that I kind of wonder why I'm not more into Sade than I am. I have, I believe, her greatest hits album, and that's it. Her single disc greatest hits album. And I should have more just because she's put out so many great songs, got a gorgeous voice, and Abena has a great voice too. And unfortunately, I neglected to make note of the good songs on here. So apologize for that. But yes, a very good artist. I really enjoy that stuff. So, and I kind of had a feeling I would when I examined the cover art. So anyway, that is, wow, it took me 15 minutes to get through the breakdown. That's good enough because I block out an hour for these videos, and I think we'll have, this video should run about an hour maybe because I've got 4 bags to open. So let's go ahead and get taking care of the first 2. Oh, James put out a new album this year. Well, didn't realize they were still a thing. So the first of the 4 bargain bags for this month. Yes, I'm spoiling you guys this month because there's going to be 4, and all of the next 2 years, there's only going to be 1 a month. So enjoy this month. Let's pop the top on this sucker. Try not to peek. And let's see what we have here. We have, Caedmon's Call. For some reason, I recognize the name of this. These guys are a Christian band. So, not necessarily am aware of their name to watch out for them or avoid them. It's just, I just happen to know that they are a Christian band. No offense to fans of Christian music. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll probably just go ahead and listen to that album for the heck of it. Then we have, Stuttering John. I've heard of these guys, but I am not familiar with their music. So, yeah, this is their self-titled? Yes, their self-titled album. So, look forward to listening to that. Then we have two. I don't know what the name is. Sister Machine Gun with the album Nothing. Actually, it is a CD single, 4 tracks. So, I don't have much to say about this. First, yes, I think I've heard of Sister Machine Gun, but I've never checked out their music. And we have, Jim Brickman with his album Destiny. He is a piano artist, smooth jazz, new age-ish piano. There were a couple CDs of his, I think, in my sister's collection, but they did not grab me very much, so I actually did eventually end up getting rid of them. But they will be interesting, or this one will be interesting to listen to. I think that might have been one of the ones that was in my sister's collection, so I'll give it another listen. Why not? We have David Jacob Strange. Where have I heard that name before? I feel like I've heard that name somewhere. It sounds familiar. So, and I think he is a local artist. Maybe it's because he's a local artist. I don't know, but yeah, give it a try. A live in concert album, and then we have Billie Myers. She is, I believe, if memory serves, R&B, soul R&B artist, and I think I have heard this album at one point a couple of years ago. I didn't think of it much of it at the time, but I'm happy to listen to it again. So, and then the last CD we have here is Julia Haltigan and the Hooligans. Not a bad name for a group. I'll clean it up later. And we have, it's 13 tracks, so it is a full album. So, and as with a few of these, I don't know what to say about her because I never heard of her before. And it's not time for the Spotlight CD yet, because let's open another bag first. Did you love that bag drop? I'm going to have double domestic cleanup tonight, aren't I? Like it takes a long time to clean up. The second bag of 4 tonight. We have Simon Rattle, the jazz album. It says it on the back, that's why I was able to read it. So definitely, I have heard of Simon Rattle before. I have never delved into his stuff. I believe he's primarily a conductor. Yeah. Don't want to produce dead air here and read the thing, but Harvey and the Wallbangers. I guess this is a tribute to one of the artists that he's paying tribute to, are called Harvey and the Wallbangers. And then we have, the CDs are in different orientations here. The Notorious Nobodies with their album Real World. And again, have no idea what to say about these guys. Don't know if this might be hip hop, or no, they've got guitars and stuff. So I'll bet this is punk or metal or grunge. That's what I'm guessing is there. And we've got Jam Harder. the A&M Underground Dance compilation. That could be interesting to listen to. No artists that I recognize the names of. Oh, DNA featuring Suzanne Vega. Oh, it's a remix of Tom's Diner. That's track 1 on here. I've always enjoyed Suzanne Vega's song Tom's Diner. New Life, A Certain Ratio. I think I've heard of the band A Certain Ratio before. But anyway, it's a dance compilation. Then we have, Ally McBeal. Heart and Soul, new songs from Ally McBeal. I believe this is volume 2, which I already have. So kind of a consistent thing with the last bargain bag and this one. I have at least one CD that I have already have. So, and yes, a duet with Emily Salyers of the Indigo Girls. That will tie into last month's bag. Another duet with Al Green. And I do really, really enjoy Vonda Shepard, at least her stuff from Ally McBeal. She has a bit more of a bit of a Melissa Etheridge thing to her, but a little more folkish. Good stuff. And we have, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Oh, Voodoo, VODU, and the album is called 155, I think. Have no idea. This might have some world music overtones to it, because some of these song titles are in looks like a foreign language. Interesting. Then we have Taken by Trees with the album Open Field, unless it's Open Field with their album Taken by Trees. On the Rough Trade label. So, it'll be interesting to listen to. Several artists in here that I have never heard of before. And then let's see, give it one more try and see if I can pull off what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. Oh, Brett Dennen. The insert is in here the wrong way. It's folded the wrong way, actually. Brett Dennen. This guy is great. He has a bit of a Bob Dylan thing to him, kind of like Sammy Brew, and he actually really reminds me of Sammy Brew because red hair. And this jewel case is broken. But yes, this is another album that I already have, actually. So 2 CDs in the first pair of bags that I already have, as I attempt valiantly to put the loose leaf insert back into the CD case. But yes, this is his sophomore album. I actually don't have his debut album. This is his sophomore album, So Much More. Excellent stuff on here. Well, I can talk about it in the breakdown next month, but suffice to say, if you haven't checked out Brett Dennen and you like that a bit kind of Bob Dylan-ish, like the folk inflected pop rock, give Brett Dennen a try. So that is the first half of my bag openings. So let's go ahead and take on the Spotlight CD as I get the next 2 bags into position, ready for my scissors to assault them. Anyway, water break first. Yeah, I'm going to get to probably 45 minutes with this video. Okay, Spotlight CD for this month's bargain bag is Every Day by the Dave Matthews Band. I was never much into the Dave Matthews Band until I listened to this CD, and it actually took me a while for this to really grow on me. The first song from it that I heard, and I have to look at it from the inside track listing because they did white. Well, actually, you can kind of see it at this angle, but white letters on a silvery background, so it's very, very hard to see on the outside of the case, but on the insert, it's a little easier to see. The song The Space Between, which was a relatively popular single off this album, was very, very good. I can't explain why I love that song so much. Probably the bass line in it. The bass just has this big, nice, heavy, profound bass in it that just really, really kind of beefed up the song, give it a little muscle. But so many good songs in here. I actually just listened to it this afternoon and re-listened to it, and I'd forgotten how many good songs are in here. I Did It is the first track. That's a great, great catchy song. And some, I think, probably more so than usual on this album are the more rhythmic songs, more beat heavy stuff. And Dave Matthews Band is kind of a jam band, not quite so much as like Fish and other bands like that, but they were known for longer arrangements in their songs and a bit of a meandering stuff. But with this album, their songs are a little tighter, a little bit shorter, and I think it does them well. Yeah, The Space Between. Dreams of Our Fathers is another really, really good song on here. So Right and If I Had It All. I mean, I could name almost the entire track listing. Mother Father is a great one, and I think that's the one. Yes, I believe Mother Father has Carlos Santana on guitar as a guest artist. So one of the songs in here has Carlos Santana. I'm pretty sure it is Mother Father. But yes, lots of funk and a little bit of world beat sensibility to some of the songs. This album reminds me, in a way, in that respect, of Paul Simon's Graceland. But with the Dave Matthews Band being who they are, it's got a bit more of a funk and soul bit of a vibe to it. So yes, if you're thinking about giving Dave Matthews Band a try, I would suggest starting with this one. And their album before this one, Crush? I may be confusing that with the Bon Jovi album. So, yay me for actually doing my homework before I roll the camera. That one is also really good too. Crash, I think, is the name of that one. Sorry, close. That was the name of the big hit single from that album, incidentally. So yeah, that was probably their other most popular song was Crash Into Me. But yes, Every Day by the Dave Matthews Band. I don't think it's their most critically acclaimed album, but it, in my opinion, it is. I would have to edge this one out and call it their best. I can be quirky that way in that some albums by some artists that the true fans think are not the best, I think are the best. So I could do a video just on that topic, and maybe I will. So, as I hydrate myself once again, I hope that was a good enough talking to about the album. Good album. Give it a listen, as I've already said. Now on to bag 3. You can tell that, at least you can probably tell that opening the bags is my favorite part of this video. And let's go ahead and see what we've got in here. And that's one reason why I was actually planning on doing my bargain bag earlier than now this month, because I'm going to have 28 CDs to listen to, and I want to be able to do that before I have to do the next video. Anyway, what we have here is Heather Nova. I have heard of her. I don't think I've ever listened to her music. Oyster is the name of this album. And I don't have much that I can say about her because I've never listened to her music. Then we have McQueen. I don't know if it's McQueen Street is the name of the band, or McQueen is the name of the band and Street is the name of the album. I don't know. And something tells me they are hard rock, possibly metal. They have long hair. That's my sole criteria for assuming that. Then we have, I assume this is pronounced No Worries. It's actually written as NX Worries. Can you see it? I can't really see it because of the light. Linked Up and Swayed, I believe, is the name of the album. Oh, Knowledge and Anderson .Paak. I had no idea. Never heard of these guys before. So I'm definitely going to listen to this one then. Not that I wasn't before, but now that I know Anderson .Paak is involved, I wonder if that's one of his first recordings. Because this, I mean, I didn't get this bag until 2019. So, oh no, he's been making music for, yeah, never mind. It's just the first album of his that I had, I got in 2019. This is a 2019 album. And we have another CD that was put in the bag wrong. Come on, people. Antera Bay, I guess is how you pronounce it. Shakedown Tonight is the name of the album, I presume. How Joey Got His Groove Back is the name of the opening track. And Curfews, Alcohol, and Other Jealousy-Related Incidents. I'm sensing song titles. They took their cue on making their song titles from Panic at the Disco. And then we have Ryan Cabrera, another CD that I own and I actually enjoyed. And I met him in person before he actually made it really big. So very, very cool guy, very friendly guy. And Ryan Cabrera, if you happen to be watching, I still remember meeting you. And so, yes, this is his debut album, by the way, Take It All Away. His debut major label album. He made an indie album a couple of years earlier. Good stuff, pop rock. Basically, straightforward pop rock. In fact, I wonder if a certain friend might like this album. And we have Mark Johnson. I don't know who this is, at least not that I'm aware of. So, yeah. I don't know what to say about it. Yay, awkward silence. Then we have the final CD in this bag. These bags go too quickly. It's just terrible how quickly those bags go. Then we have Lamb, I guess is the name of this artist, and I guess it's their self-titled album. Fontana Distribution, in case you were curious what label it was on. And it's going to be an interesting assortment of CDs, but it's also a bit of a relief to know that I have, 3 or 4 CDs so far that just 2 or 3 CDs that I don't have to listen to. And I wasn't going to do a Spotlights CD in next month's bag, but I may go ahead and just give a little more lengthy review of one of the CDs in here that I already have. And now the final bag. Hopefully I'm not throwing any of this stuff behind cabinets where I'll never get to it. Okay. Oh, I forgot to give you guys the peeky-boos. I'm off my game tonight. We have Colin Ray with his album Extremes. He's a country artist, in case you didn't know. I'm never afraid to listen to country music. We have Michael Masley with the album Mystery Repeats Itself. I like the title. I have no idea what this is. He is... Oh, selections from 6 albums, so it's like a greatest hit CD or a sampler. The national instrument of Hungary, the cimbalom, or cimbalom. So that's what he plays, apparently. I've never heard of it. Then we have... I have no idea what this is. Black Tape for a Blue Girl. As One a Flame Laid Bare by Desire. I would assume one of those is the name of the artist. I would have no idea which. They're both too wordy, in my opinion. Then we have Raul y Mejia. I believe is that how you pronounce it. Garrett, let me know if my Spanish pronunciation is on game. And this is their album, Arriba y Lejos. I should know what those words mean, even though I know very, very little Spanish. Arriba, that's not freedom, is it? I'll look it up. Yeah. Latin rock, I have no problem listening to Latin rock. You can't really be afraid to listen to anything, honestly. Otherwise, what's the point? Then we have Rushmen. The sun will rise soon on the false and the fair. Interesting album title. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tracks. So 2013 on the End Records label. I have a couple albums by then. What's their name? Better Than Ezra. Their most recent album came out on the End. And we have DJ Bam Bam. Do you like it hard? Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud. Well, I don't like saying risque stuff on my channel. Wow, this is 39 tracks? Interesting. The tracks have got to be painfully short if there are 39 tracks on here. Apparently some kind of a DJ remix album. And then we have, for the last, see, that was a good throwback, wasn't it? Throwback. It's Throwback Thursday. Sorry. I'm not even a dad, and that was a darn good dad joke, I have to say. We have Jill Cohn with her album, Window to the Wise. Yet another artist I'm not familiar with, so we'll listen to this one for sure. Produced by Ethan Allen and Jill Cohn. I assume it's not the Ethan Allen that designs furniture. Anyway, that's a joke that probably very few people get. So anyway, wow, 28 CDs, and there are, what, 3, I think, that I technically don't have to listen to because I already own. So, wow, how about that? And it's not even 40 minutes into the hour. What am I going to do with the rest of the time? So I hope you enjoyed this next to last episode of Bargain Bag. I'm going to have lots of fun, as I always do, listening to these CDs. I just hope I have enough time to listen to them all. -3. So I hope everybody is doing well. Why don't we just sit and chit-chat for a while? So good. I did, as far as you know, I got my pronunciation right. Cool. I like to do other cultures the courtesy of trying to pronounce words in their languages as accurately as I can. I figure it's basic respect. I know, isn't it? Crazy how fast Bargain Bag is over with. Your favorite things always end way too quickly, don't they? But anyway, yes. I was at Barnes & Noble today and been thinking lately about my Christmas videos, or actually it's probably just going to be one big video. A very Tom's Hit Parade Christmas. I'll probably just do a Christmas megasode. I'm going to patent that word or copyright that word. There's probably somebody else who already thought of it. But yeah, I was going to do or at least I'm planning on, as of now, I'm planning on doing a 12 CDs of Christmas like I did last year, and a 12 tapes of Christmas, because I got all those cassettes over the March or April, I think was when I got that big cassette haul. So I got lots of Christmas cassettes to listen to. And so I was thinking of doing those two and not doing my Christmas Now and Then, which I did the last 2 years. It's a throwback to when I used to do my Now and Then videos. But I was at Barnes & Noble today, and I was able to find a very recently released CD that I will do, and I think that's kind of given me the impetus to do a Christmas Now and Then. I can probably just stuff it into that big video. It might be an hour and a half or 2 hour video, but hey, it's going to be Christmas time, so it's Christmas party time. So yes, I think I will do a Christmas Now and Then as well. So yes, I was able to. I'm not going to tell you what that CD was, but I'll just say I was filled with glee when I found it. I didn't even know it was out until I saw it on the shelf. But anyway, yeah, Dune is not exactly Star Trek, but did you happen to see? I did not, no, and I actually have never read the book, and I never saw the original, was it David Lynch, movie adaptation either. I can be kind of picky with my science fiction. I don't know why. Star Trek, Star Wars, yes. Some other stuff, yeah, but I don't know. I can be fickle that way. Yeah. But I've heard good things about Dune, and I've kind of like Timothée Chalamet. I like him as he's a really good actor, he's a great actor. So maybe I will see it. And if I'm not mistaken, actually, I think I'm going to look it up while I'm sitting here chatting. If I'm not mistaken, I believe was Patrick Stewart in the original Dune adaptation? Dune, 1984 film. Thank you, Wikipedia. Yes, he was. So why have I not seen the original Dune? It's got Captain Picard in it. Maybe at some point and it's got Dean Stockwell in it. Rest in peace, Dean Stockwell. Quantum Leap was my second favorite TV show of all time. And yeah, the news the other day just kind of devastated me. He was, as much as I love Scott Bakula, and as much as his character was key to the show, Dean Stockwell brought a mischievous twinkle to that show, to Quantum Leap, that was just, without him, the show would not have been what it was. And his chemistry with Scott Bakula was fantastic. So, yeah, miss him. And Sting, another musical connection. He was in Dune. Freddie Jones, who was in another of my favorite sci-fi films of all time, Krull. He was in, yeah, gosh, lots of people. And Brad Dourif, who was really, really good at playing a bad guy in a pair of Star Trek Voyager episodes. He was in Dune. So, yeah. Engage. See, I can do the Captain Picard engage, right? It's not a simple point like that. It's first two fingers curled inward slightly with the thumb upward. Engage. So anyway, that's my geek out moment for tonight. I can only imagine how geeky I will get in when I finally have my Trek East channel up and running. But anyway, so yeah, maybe I should see the original adaptation. I've heard that it was not nearly as good, or it got pretty mediocre reviews, at least compared to this new adaptation. So maybe I'll watch both of them for comparison. I could watch both of them and compare them as a subject for a Trekkies video. Why not? I'm going to need material for that channel when I get it up and running, right? So anyway, gosh, it's still almost 15 minutes short of the hour. So let's see. I talked about I did today. Yes, my birthday was recently, and I had today off, as I said, thanks to Veterans Day. So Mom and I went out to town and ran some errands and played and stuff, and went to Red Robin. This is not a commercial for Red Robin. I just happen to love Red Robin, and we went there for lunch, and we just kind of went all out. I had a refill on fries, which I probably shouldn't do, and we had the mud pie for dessert. Gotta have it. But thankfully, the wait staff didn't come and sing to me. Call me a party pooper, but I just don't like that much attention drawn to me, you know. But anyway, so Red Robin, yum. So, okay, maybe this is a commercial. I don't know. So anyway, yes, I hope you guys are having a good November so far. I am as well. And I thought there was something else I was going to talk about. Heck, if I know what it was. It went in that ear and it just went out. It's flying over there somewhere. Well, maybe I will just cut this video short, unless anybody has any questions, comments. The Canadian Brass is a classical related brass band that's been around for, 40, 50 years. I just found out the other day earlier this evening. Yeah. Today, 8 months ago, that's all the same to me anymore. I found out earlier today that they've got a new album coming out tomorrow. It's called Canadiana, and they do covers of Canadian pop and rock songs, which is an interesting repertoire for them. They usually do adaptations of classical pieces. So I'll probably stream it first, listen to it, but I'm kind of suspecting I may end up buying that one. So, and let's see what else. Oh, Jake Shimabukuro's new album is coming out tomorrow, which don't know if I have the money to get it tomorrow, but a huge array of guest performers on that album. It's kind of like a you name them, they're there kind of a thing. I don't know how they packed how he packed so many guest appearances into that album, but you might want to check it out. It's called Jake and Friends. I will be checking it out. So, a question from Yes. With less than 2 months of the year left, do you have a good idea which albums are definite in your best of the year video? I have a pretty good idea, and well, you in particular might be proud of this. Donny Osmond is most likely going to be in my top 10. I mean, hey, with a single like Who that he put out, I mean, that's one of my top favorite songs of the year, is just that song Who. And the rest of the album was just so good. So yeah, that's definitely going to be in my top 10. Marina, who was my favorite album of the first half of the year, definitely she's going to be there. And let's see, probably one of Weezer's 2 albums is going to be in my top 10, and also that Barry Gibb album, Greenfields. That's just too beautiful not to be in my top 10. So yeah, and what from the last couple of months here? Let's see if I can find it without too much computer lag. I know one of these days I'm going to have to end up breaking down and getting a new computer, because this computer is, goodness gracious, 10 years old maybe? Pretty. Please stand by. Oh, not that one. There we go. I keep a list of albums that came out during the course of this year, just so I don't miss anything. Oh, that version of the file is old. Strange as it may sound, William Shatner's album Bill, that's probably going to be in my top 10. And Jake Bug is almost definitely going to be in my top 10. That was such a good album. And yeah. Oh, Porter Robinson. That one's also probably going to be in my top 10. I think I may have named more than 10 albums that I say are going to be in my top 10. So we'll see. But yeah, that's going to be gives you a vague idea of how the list is shaping up. And yes, thank you for reminding me that I've got 6 weeks to work on my list to get it locked in. I'm hoping that not too much more really good new stuff comes out in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah. And I've kind of been looking for Porter Robinson's first album. I've been looking for it on CD and I haven't even streamed it yet. I still have to work myself out of that old mentality of, hey, Tom, you can stream albums before you go to the trouble and the expense of buying them. Get a clue. And you're paying $10 a month for Spotify. Make it worth it, right? I can be slow on the uptake, I gotta say. So yeah. So yep, that's how my my albums of the year list is starting to shape up. And so yeah. Let's see if I missed any questions or recommendations. Yeah, I think I've got the light just about right. Don't you think? It's not making my face too bright. Yes, I got a 2-pack of lights which have remote controls, just little control things built into the cord, and they can be powered through USB connection to a power outlet. So my old light that I used to use with my camera was battery powered, so I had to always make sure that batteries were charged, and I had to have more than a couple of batteries on hand just in case I forgot to charge one of them. So this is much nicer. And these albums, well, the other lights, the other light had an adjustable a dimmer switch, and this one has a graduated dimmer buttons up and down. So good light. And yes, as I said, in the next few weeks or so, I should get my screen up, hopefully, and that will work. And maybe excuse me, maybe I'll do that. And I know I can also just record videos with my webcam, record them and then add the graphics and stuff, and then just upload them. I can always do that too. So it's just I would probably do them with much less, editing in my talking and stuff, just so that they still have this more casual flow, which I honestly kind of like. So yeah, it's my channel is kind of an ever evolving thing. It's never going to stay static. At least I kind of don't want it to, because it could get boring. I don't want it to get, the last thing I want my YouTube channel to get is tedious and boring. Otherwise, it's not going to be fun anymore, right? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my aimless babbling, and I think I'm going to go ahead, excuse me, go ahead and sign off for tonight. Thank you guys for joining with me and having a lively comment section, or a live chat section here. And oh, I forgot to do it again. I forget to have my sign off prepared. I do like to do things somewhat uniformly. Have my same old sign off. And I keep there it is. Every time I look for that stinking sign off file, I can't find it. I don't know what's going on with that. And then wait for my silly computer to bring up the file. Yeah. And yes, speaking of computers, I'm still struggling as to whether or not I'm going to get a desktop like I have. Of course, desktop, the actual tower sits in a cubbyhole at the bottom of my desk, or a notebook computer. I'm still waffling on that. So anyway, okay, enough of my babbling. That'll do it for Bargain Bag for the month of November 2021. Stay tuned next month for the grand finale of Bargain Bag. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, hit that like button and share it with your friends. And give me your thoughts, questions, suggestions, or constructive criticisms in the comment section below. Also, scroll down to the description for the links to my Twitter and Instagram feeds, and links to my favorite fellow YouTubers who are all worth checking out. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and browse my past videos, and be sure to ring that notifications bell. Yes, I can read. So you'll be the first to know each time I drop a new video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next Friday, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob. See you guys. Have fun.